Hello, it's Beverly with the Intuitive Interior. Time for the March I Ching reading. So, we are entering into the month of the Yin Earth Rabbit starting tomorrow on March 5th. Okay, so I'm recording this on the 4th. You know where I'm at. This energy will go through April 3rd. The fun part about this is that this Yin Earth element is well, it's very receptive. It's very nurturing. It's like that really lovely, rich garden soil that allows anything that you plant in it to flourish. So whether it is seeds of something that you want to eat for nourishment, or if it's weeds, well, then it's all going to flourish. Now, the good news too about the rabbit energy is it will manifest and multiply everything that you're bringing around. So again, be careful of where you are putting your energy because you, let's just make sure that you're wanting to, you're growing what you want to have. When you combine the yin earth and the rabbit and to the hexagrams of the I Ching, you get card number 19. It's called Approach, and it is a really beautiful card that shows a red carpet leading up some stairs going into a it looks like a nice nature scene. There's a beautiful pool or body of water outside and cherry trees. So it's an incredibly inviting card, a scene, which is, it's like, oh, great. What kind of cool stuff are we going to be experiencing? Now, you don't know if there's a landing, though, on the other side of those stairs. So is this an approach, something that's, almost like a false sense of security and or an invitation to a downfall? We don't know because things just, that's, not mine to say. But um, the bottom line here is the yin metal dui. The line above that is yin earth kun. And when you have this metal underneath, being covered up by the soil, think about as buried treasure. So I really do think there's going to be some remarkable things that are going to be discovered and uncovered this month. The words that are associated with this are advancing, a warm reception, prosperous conditions, increased influence, hopefulness, lightening up, and an arrival. That sounds all great and fantastic, I think. The other flip side of that, though, is people can get all excited about what, the surface level of where, what, the nice warm sun after many, many cold months. And they can forget to stay vigilant and to keep preparing for the inevitable changing of the seasons. Sometimes folks remember that Aesop's fable about the tortoise and the hare, and how the tortoise was just moving along slowly and gathering resources so that way it had a nice comfortable home during the wintertime. But the hare was just kind of like, ooh, la la la, we're just going to go do our things. I'm going to go and enjoy the sun. I'm going to enjoy all these lovely little nibbles over here, but never bothered to take the opportunity to lock in some resources for that inevitable rainy day. So that's the way that I'm interpreting this, because I think it's imperative that we absolutely enjoy ourselves in the moment, and that we look for the beauty and for the joy of the absolute right now, but always looking ahead for that what if scenario. It says here, the best gardeners welcome spring with joy and exuberance, and match its abundance with an abundance of diligent preparation and energetic labor. It's time to be a good gardener now, so that by the time autumn comes, the harvest will nourish and sustain you through the winter that will follow as surely as this spring has come. Um, so That's a good thing to kind of keep in mind too, because the opposite on the Chinese compass is uh, the rooster. The rooster is the animal of September. So we've got our spring right now. The clash is in September, in the rooster, and um, this is simply just again preparation. Now, here in Texas, where I'm at, September still is incredibly warm, and sometimes is that what they consider it called Indian summer. So it's like, oh, just more hot. So it's a good idea to just know and mentally prepare for that. All right, the next clarifying card, the first one that came up was number 24. It's called the Turning Point, and it is a series of, well, it looks like a snake that has tied itself into a knot, eating its tail. This is a kind of a disconcerting looking card because, again, here we are in the year of the snake, and now we've got this image of a snake that is um, that is just all types of twisted up on itself. Um, we have on here as far as the um, trigrams, Zhen, which is yang wood, it's thunder, so rapid change, shock to the system. And then above that is more kun, the yin earth. And so there are a lot, if you look here, how there are three lines, it just like a lot of energy slips right through until the very bottom. This also symbolizes the potential for resources to abruptly drop out of our existence, to just kind of just disappear like that. It can also symbolize that, oh, well, wait, we thought we were going in this one direction, and now we fell into this rut, and now we have to climb out of it. The clarifying words on this are return, the start of a new cycle, right timing, regeneration, inevitability, and steady improvements. How this plays out in our environment it really depends on what is going on. The focus line on this one is number 1, which again is dealing with our innermost thoughts and how we are internally processing whatever is going on in our world. And it says your inner equilibrium will be nourished best now by paying close attention to what your intuition is telling you. When in doubt, listen to the body first. It has no ideas that might lead you astray. I actually kind of don't necessarily love that advice because often when there's a lot of change going on, what we may perceive as intuition and what our body is telling us is they're simply fear messages from outside. And being able to discern what is true wisdom, this internal guidance that you're receiving, or what is coming at you from, news, from media, from, your terrified friends. Um, and so it's easy to get influenced by all of that if you don't have the tools to be able to ground and to know what exactly is um, the right thing to pay attention to. I offer monthly courses and varying days and times on a program called Energy Hygiene. And it literally is designed to do just this so that we can kind of disconnect from all of those energies that are pulling on us, because each individual human is like a battery, and we have some people are just they're needing power, and so they plug into us. By disconnecting from the people who have that don't have our permission to use us to recharge, we can then ground easier and replenish our own energy so that we know, is it fear or is it guidance? Because that is huge. I will put information in the notes below on how you can find the next class. Um, the the thing too about the turning point is there are times when it just doesn't feel like any of our efforts are enough, but this symbolizes that that turning point is happening. So those incremental movements forward um, will get you to the result that you are desiring. Um, no, it says here, it's good to remember that no time of darkness lasts forever, either in the cosmos or in your immediate surroundings. And if you have it says here too, if you have a physical illness, you know that you need to slow down, withdraw, and rest um, so that you can actually recuperate. So this might be that time where you need to kind of go inward, do like the little bunny and go into its little burrow and recharge. You also need to recharge your own batteries. Maybe that's meditation, maybe it's exercise, maybe it's changing of your diet, or who you are constantly being exposed to. So the next clarifying card is number 39, obstacles. Now this one has come up several times for me when I'm doing these readings. And yes, I really do shuffle these things really a lot. Um, but it is, again, an image of a lone sailboat on very choppy waters. This, again, isn't surprising. We are in this year of the snake, lots of transformation and renovation and just reforming are going to be happening this year. And I knew that coming, from the get-go. This has the trigram here of Yang Earth, Gen, on the bottom, and on the top is Kan, water. So you have this like a bunch of water that can't settle on solid soil and like on a mountaintop. It's almost like that um, mountain lake, though it is rumbling, and so it feels unstable. The words here are unexpected obstructions, frustration, difficulties, feelings of hopelessness, struggle, and discouragement. Yeah, that all sounds just, oh no, what's going on? But the focus line here is number 3. This is that interface between how we are feeling and our action steps, and how we then move from our convictions into the external world. Here it says, abandoning all your everyday routines in order to deal with difficulties and obstructions can have the unintended consequence of leaving others around you off balance and feeling threatened. Slow down, come back to your center, and look for the middle way out of the present impasse. There are so many, that analogy of the duck looking all calm and serene on top, but just paddling furiously underneath. This is kind of where we are right now. That the duck, as a whole, the energy is that we're all trying to present this image of, oh, we're handling things. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. As the drinking your coffee and the world around you is on fire. When we do have these unexpected situations, we need to be able to handle them and not panic. Because if you panic, you lose control. You no longer have the ability to continue to see where the opportunities are, and only where you're blinded by fear. Again, getting back to that whole, got to ground, got to disconnect from the fear impulse, and that gives you that space so that you know where the next best step is. You know where the opportunity is bringing you. Says here, if you've become too fixated on progress at the expense of harmony with others and your own inner balance, then you've missed the point, and that whatever you're clinging to is the very thing you're meant to let go of. Maybe that's the confidence of thinking that, well, things are going to keep doing what they're doing. Perhaps it's the idea that, oh, well, this person is going to change. I know this time they're not going to do that again. It's possible that this is your sign to say, oh, you know what? Yeah, that's not going to happen. Let's reevaluate. Let's move into the new direction. And of course, anytime you move into a new direction, there's struggle. And that's, don't just expect it. Just know that, oh gosh, there was this quote that I saw recently about you pray for rain, but then you curse the mud. You get what you wanted, but then there's always other unintended consequences. So perhaps now is when you are facing something that you didn't want because you thought you were asking for something else. I don't know. That's obstacles. The last card here is number 1, and it's called the creative. This is Chan over Chan. This is yang metal over yang metal. Yang metal is the unrefined ore. It is the possibility. It is the potential, but it requires the yin. This is the most pure yin card in the entire 64 card deck. It has a handprint that kind of like the Aboriginal handprints that you might find around the world. Inside of it are stars, the potential of whatever cosmic cool things that are going to come into your inspiration, surrounded by concentric circles of different colors, culminating in almost a rainbow effect. So you have the active yang principles, the strength, tenacity, dynamism, inspiration, heaven, masculinity, authority, and father. This is a pure potential card. It's the top line, and number 6 was the one that came out as the clarifying line. And it says, your hunger for success is distorting clarity and creating arrogant behavior. The nature of Tao is to restore balance. In your case, by bursting the overinflated bubble of ego and its aspirations and returning you to earth. Again, more grounding. You are ripe for a fall, but it is in the nature of things that this is how we learn. Perhaps next time you'll remember this fall and you'll be more alert. I don't know if that's going to apply to everyone, but I think we've all had moments when we've gotten a little over confident, a little overly convinced that we know what's right. And sometimes we are. And sometimes we really need to listen to those who have more experience and are that cooler head. Because again, coming back to all of this, it is so easy to get swept up in the waves of fear and of anger and despair and, again, even overconfidence. You have to ground, disconnect so that you can receive the messages from the heaven and the earth. We are the conduit between source and our, the celestial source and the Mother Earth source. So the creative only manifests in an atmosphere of receptivity so charged that the quickening flash of inspiration can arc across it. It says here, in ancient China, this potentiality brimming on the point of being was accorded the highest respect and was attributed to heaven. Known as the dragon power, it was depicted as an illuminated dragon continuously twisting in the darkness of the void. And in the West, it has been called the hand of God, ta-da, hand of God, that creates all things. Because its very nature is the lack of fixed form, the enormous energy of the creative is undefinable. This is the primary active force that is spontaneous and unpredictable, untiring in a nature that is eternally in motion, effecting change. We are probably going to feel a quickening of change in March. In the Western astrology, there are eclipses and Mercury going retrograde in the middle of the month. And, we've had this celestial event of 7 planets all lined up. So we just have to be flexible. We have to learn to surf. We have to be willing to let go of preconceived notions and visualize what it is, what kind of future, what kind of world do we want to live in, because that's how we create. We have this unlimited potential, but we have to go inside and feel into what we want next. That is how you tap into this. There has to be that receptivity. There has to be that yin element, the feminine element. Now, in my ideal world, women would be the ones who are running it and allowing that internalized that creativity to be worked in connection with the masculine energy, rather than kind of but we're getting there. We're getting there, because I think more and more people know that when they become still, that's when really, really amazing inspiration comes in. It's when we stay frenetic that we do ourselves no favors. All right, thanks so much. And I look forward to seeing what happens. And then I'll see you again in April. Bye now.